Shalom Abracha, I want to tell you an unbelievable story. Rav Nissim Yagin ran a large kollel where people study Torah, and he was the man in charge of not just giving over the shiurim with a lot of simcha, but also raising the funds. You gotta, raise the funds to pay the people to learn the Torah. And his nephew recounted. Open up your hearts, guys. This is a crazy story. One time his nephew came up to him and said, "Hey, uncle, you got the money to pay the kollel bachrim for this month?" And he said, "Actually, I don't." So he said, "How much are you missing?" "I'm missing $23,000, Rav Yagin said. So his nephew said, "Oh, wow, that's a lot of money. What are you going to do? What's the plan? Borrow or something?" And he said, "What, you don't think Hashem can pay back the money? Hashem can pay back the money anytime he wants. He can give me anytime money." And his nephew said, "Yeah, but even if a guy would come in right now with a check, you still wouldn't have the money available to pay the people tomorrow." And he said, "Again, listen, Hashem runs the world. If he wants to give me the money, he'll give me the money." And he went on with his day, and he learned Rav Yagin, and he taught his classes, and he helped people, did chesed, and he was totally calm the entire day. And there was just, a few hours left until the deadline, and people would start knocking on his door. And his nephew went to see what was going on with his uncle. His uncle went outside because, people were already, starting to knock on the doors. And he went up to Hashem and said, "Hashem, you know that this kollel, it's not for me, it's for you. I'm doing this for you. Please, Hashem, help me out." And right at that moment, someone walked into his office and gave him a bag with exactly $23,000. Now, a few years later, 2 years approximately, Rav Yagin was in Baltimore, and he recognized someone, and someone recognized him, and they started schmoozing until this is the story that happened. He was the man who gave him the $23,000. Wow, unbelievable. So what happened? The man had come to Eretz Yisrael for his father's first yard site, the anniversary of his passing away. And after visiting, the cemetery, he was tired, he went to his hotel, and he had a dream in his nap. And his father came to him and said, "What are you napping for? Rav Yagin needs $23,000. So he wakes up in shock. He doesn't even know who Rav Yagin is. He goes down to the lobby, and he sees a friend, a businessman who just made a large business deal. And he tells him the whole crazy story. He says, "Wow, actually, I just made a huge deal. I have all this money on me. I don't want to keep it. You pay me back in America." And he gave him the $23,000 he needed. He made some phone calls. He figured out who Rav Yagin was. And he came exactly at that moment and delivered the money that Rav Yagin needed. Wow, an unbelievable story of one who trusts in God. Hapoteach b'Hashem, chesed yisovavenu. Kindness surrounds him on a far less dramatic level, but just a way to apply this to our lives. Today, we had 6 people in the base Knesset, and our numbers are getting low here in the base. Some people are leaving, a lot of people on missions. We had exactly 6, and my friend Yeshua said, "You think we're going to get a minyan?" And I said, 100%. And I went outside right at that moment, and I screamed, "Mincha, mincha!" And exactly then, 4 guys heard my scream and came, and we had the minyan immediately. So to be honest, a lot less miraculous, but still pretty cool. The power of trust, the power of bitachon in Hashem opens up the gates for salvation to come into our lives. So thank you to Rav David Ashear, and thank you to Rav Yagin for being such a holy man that such open miracles happened to you. And Rav Yagin has many books teaching beautiful Torah. So if you ever have a chance to learn it, it should be a schus upon him.